Hello. Hi, Youssef. How are you?
Hi, how are you, Muhammad? Thank you for having me today.
All good, all good. Thank you so much for accepting our invite, having you for our one of our episodes talking about the agentic AI. All the world now talking about AI.
Yes, it's going crazy with the AI, man. I mean, the
Yeah, yeah.
development in the AI realm is crazy. Every time we try to study the new things, and the very next day you have a whole new technology. So it's very exciting
Yeah, yeah.
times. I have to say.
That's true. That's true. Okay, let me give you just a quick introduction about you. Then I'll back the microphone for you to share more details about your experience and knowledge in the AI and data analysis for our audience. We have today Youssef Kamal is a seasoned data leader and AI expert with the passion of advising innovation and autonomy in the artificial intelligence. Youssef is currently serving as a director of data at ADVA and overseeing the data strategy, credit scoring, and analytics for the fintech industry. Beside that, Youssef is the the founder of people of the data community across the Middle East, connecting people are very experienced in the data analysis field and the AI field as well. Let me pass it for you, Yusuf, if you'd like to share more about you for our audience.
Perfect. Thank you, Muhammad. So my sweet spot is the community, people of data community. We have started that community 1 year ago, and we were everything for the community is built by the community for the community. So everyone is just collaborating. It's beautiful how people are collaborating to help each other, and specifically in such a very hard and very rapid industry. So what we're doing right now in the community, we have monthly meetups with data leaders. So they would tell the uprising professionals, or even the professionals that want to understand more and be well updated. People, everyone is helping each other. So we get one data leader every month, and they have a talk with the people and the use cases and the challenges that I've been facing at the moment. Also, we have free courses. Everything is for free because I'm a data science and AI tutor myself in Udacity, and I know a lot of very cool tutors that they want to help. So that's why we have also free courses in the community. We have done data engineering, data science, generative AI, machine learning, and actually the traction is very cool because we don't take any money at all, and people are telling us that we're a bit of crazy, but this is the beauty of a community, right? And currently we're expanding, actually not in Egypt only. That's why it's called People of Data Middle East. We're expanding. We have a our very first meetup in Riyadh right after Ramadan, inshallah, and we have something in Abu Dhabi as well. So the beautiful thing is to connect, to bridge the gap between the talents and the companies, between not only in the same country and between the governors. This is what we're doing in Egypt. So Cairo, Alexandria, and like trying to connect those, but not only that, only that, but we're trying to do that on the region level as well. And I think the potential is huge to do that. So fingers crossed.
Interesting. That's amazing. That's great. I can tell you from our work with multiple clients in the European market, Asian market, and even the US. This is the most demanding thing now to get very talented people to work and provide AI related, data analytics related functions. So I think this will go even much more viral than anyone can expect. So let's start our chat and conversation for our audience. And this is a basic question, if we can say. And most of the people are now hearing a lot of podcasts, articles, even in the news for all the public people about AI. But now there's a new trend many people are talking about, which is agentic AI or the agents. So would you define for us and to clarify for the audience what is agentic AI?
Cool. So sometimes there is lately there has been some not misunderstanding but misusage of the word agentic AI. And then when you get to talk to the developer, it might be a simple rule based. But the main difference between agentic AI and the rule based, so the conventional development, it used to be you exactly know everything when it comes to the in and the out. So you code every single part. When it comes to agentic AI or AI in general, it's mostly fuzzy in fuzzy input and fuzzy output. So you don't know what's coming inside, and the model has to understand that and take actions accordingly. And then you go for the fuzzy output, and it could be whatever output you may think of, maybe text, maybe format, maybe a tabular format, or whatever it takes. So this is the main difference between that. I would like to give one of the analogies here as well. So what's the difference between generative AI and agentic AI? So basically, generative AI is, let's say ChatGPT as is. So you have the website of ChatGPT, and you're talking to one agent. But when you build agentic AI, you actually take either an API from ChatGPT, for instance, or any large language model. If it was open source or private, that's fine. You just take an API, and for that API, you use it, you multiply that APIs. Okay, so instead of talking to one ChatGPT, let me say something. So in ChatGPT, you can upload a document, right, and tell it to answer from that document. Or you can build your agent on the top left, and you have this agent specifically that understands everything in this exact topic. This is exactly what we're doing when it comes to agentic AI, but has more power. So you get this API, and you create yourself a lot of APIs. So let's say five APIs, and then you teach each and everyone some sort of information, some amount of information, and then you give it a tools and functions. So yeah, so after you create those APIs, you give it the tool and the function to do a specific job. And the beautiful thing about that is they actually try to communicate together, and they actually delegate tasks to each other. There are a lot of
Interesting.
uses. We're going to talk about that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting, and that's definitely that you clarified this point, the difference between the generative AI or the regular AI that the people used to use during the last few months, but now the agentic AI is coming to even to evolve how we can use and utilize the value from using the AI. This takes me to another very important point, and always this is one of the points we discuss with our clients, which is the applications. The technology is there, the APIs are there, we can use, but if we don't have a clear use case or a purpose of using this technology, we won't be able to get any results out of it. Based on your experience and in the community and your experience, what type of sample of or applications do you think the agentic AI can add value in different industries?
Cool. So all the industries, it's literally crazy. Like where we are, I myself along with my team are helping 8 new companies right now, building them from scratch to utilize AI and basically agentic AI in 8 different industries. We're talking sustainability, we're talking education, we're talking even, so these are the industries. And we can even, when it comes to the same exact company, you can apply that on different departments. So for instance, we can do that for HR, for human resources. So you can either screen, so you have a lot of CVs coming, for instance. You can screen those CVs, and you compare it with the job description, and then you shortlist, and then you go send an email to for that person. And this is the easy part right now. The technology is evolving so hard right now, as if you can even go schedule the meeting with the interviewee, and have the interview, and then get the final result, and then put it in the database, and then actually choose from that. So the entire cycle of that HR department, not definitely, I mean, for the hiring part, could be so easy, instead of having it as painful as it is. Like I just posted on LinkedIn to fetching for people to hire. I got 3,000 resumes. How on earth could I be able to understand those 3,000 resumes? And then from the other side, from the demand side, from the supply side, people are frustrated because the interviewers do not actually or the companies don't actually read all the CVs because of the everything. So this is how it goes, and it could work with everything. So you can do it in even in marketing. So I try to do that on in my LinkedIn page for one of the companies that's pure agentic AI. So yeah, I will give a context here first. Sam Altman said that very soon we will find a solo founder's unicorn. So one person that is building a conglomerate, for instance. And the CEO of Nvidia also said a very cool sentence. Uh, it was, IT managers are very soon becoming hiring managers, and this is exactly what we're doing in the agentic AI. So I wanna tell you more about this LinkedIn use case that I did just for the fun of it, and the fun of it actually had got me a lot of customers as actually. So the fun of it was
It's always starting by fun. We need to have fun, and we found ourselves. Yeah, that's getting value for us. Yeah.
exactly, yeah. It kind of feels weird when I tell you I tried an AI model for fun, you know? It makes me feel a bit of a nerd person, but it's fine. This is the job. So, yeah, so agentic AI is basically building an entire team and giving them their onboarding. If you hire someone in the job, you give him a 2 months of onboarding, and you give him all the documents that he has to read, and you tell him what he can do and what he cannot do, and you tell him the tools, just to give him the direction of the essence of the job, right? And this is exactly what we do when it comes to agentic AI. So in this marketing, in this LinkedIn page, I thought of, okay, I need a strategy for the next upcoming month, and I need to post one LinkedIn post for the upcoming every one post every day. So we need the strategy and we need the content. So I went to ChatGPT. No, sorry. So I hired a marketing strategist. So I have the APIs, okay, and now I hired a marketing strategist, an agentic marketing strategist. I told him that this is the company, and this is what we do in the company, and this is the persona that we want, and this is the branding guidelines. And please, so I fed it everything, and I told him, this is your role. Please give me a strategy and the content strategy. And now I need someone else. I need a content writer. So I hired a content writer as well, and I told them exactly what I need to do, and I told them be creative as possible, and this is the communication guidelines that we have. So now they have the strategy, who generated the posts and the plan. When do we post? What do we post? What are the subjects? The content writer came and told us so as well. And then I need a picture for that post, right? So yeah, so we got a designer. I hired a designer, and I told him the look and feel that we want, that is futuristic and everything, because the company was working in the AI and sustainability, uh, and climate change. So it has to be very futuristic and greeny. So he made the design for each and every post. There's one thing missing right now. We need we need to generate that picture. So we hired a prompt engineer that is actually trained on the prompt engineering of Midjourney. So I went to Midjourney, got the documentation how to talk to Midjourney, got that documentation, fed it to that agent, and now this agent is a master in Midjourney APIs. And then now we have the strategy, we have the content, we have the designer, and we have the prompt engineer would translate those designs into prompt, and then we had an API from Midjourney to talk to Midjourney and actually generate the picture that we already organized. And then finally we need to post that. So we had an API with LinkedIn to post that. But before that, there is a marketing manager. So there is a marketing manager has to look at all of these efforts and either approve or deny. And this only agent, I gave him the power to actually delegate. Meaning, if he does not like the work that has been generated, he can easily tell them, no, I don't like that. Please reiterate on everything. And then you can actually see those agents talking to each other, and they're thinking, they're definitely not thinking, I understand, but the way it is designed, that they're thinking. And now the agent says, okay, now I'm a senior marketing manager, I need to understand all of this and compare it. Anyways, so the end result, so a long story short, end result is you write an entire script. And trust me, writing the script is also is also being written using AI. So I use ChatGPT in all the code that I have written. Okay, so it's crazy. So now, long story short, we have a team of agentic AI. It's called the crew, which has, again, strategy, content designer, prompt engineer, marketing manager. And once you press the button, it processes for like 10 minutes or something, and then it goes to push the first post today on LinkedIn, and then everything is
Interesting.
posted, is stored in the database. So that's agentic AI. They give them the ability to think and to think freely, actually, and have fuzzy in, and then it gives you whatever you want from the outside. It's crazy. I think this is going to disrupt a lot of businesses. That's definitely is going to happen, and we're trying to do that with the community and with my company and with my team. So it's going to happen definitely.
And that's amazing. And that's, you summarized like five different tasks in the marketing field. If we are able to automate using the agentic AI or AI in general, and in 10 minutes, as you said, how much time, how much budget it saved for us. But that makes as well some people very scared about their future in their jobs and how the AI is coming to take over their positions and their work. And that takes me to the next question, or the point we need to discuss regarding who will win at the end. This battle, is it the AI? Is it the human? Or we might find some chances for cooperation. What do you think? What do you think? Who will win at the end between the human intelligence versus the artificial intelligence, if we can say?
Okay, that's a very tricky one, right? So a lot of the jobs are easily replaced by AI. Easy. Some of them, I mean, for instance, I will tell you one of the use cases that we've been working on. We have a call center team, a big one, and then there's a team, very designated team, very hardworking team that is doing quality assurance on every call that is happening. So basically, they listen to 3 calls per agent every day. Okay, that's no more. So that team has been cancelled. Why? Because very simply, you get an API. The beautiful thing is that we're not even inventing anything. We're just using APIs from the researchers. We're applied scientists. We're not research scientists. So you can easily get any API from any model, and you can listen to everything, to all the calls, and then you build a very tiny prompt for instance, give me a quality on the sentiment of what the agent said. Did he ask the right questions? Did he write down everything? And actually, you can actually take notes on everything. So some of the jobs are definitely going away. Some of the jobs are definitely becoming in collaborative, and we're going to be helping each other a lot. I mean, I myself in coding, I used to go to now I'm a senior, but back at the time I used to be a senior. I used to be a junior and go to my senior, tell him how to do that. I cannot do that, right? But this is not happening. So all the developers right now have elevated on the programming skills big time. Everyone can do anything right now. I just actually created uh, an entire platform using Claude, just like that, right? So that's crazy. But I have a question for you actually in that point. So there are two notions here. The first one, I think CEO of Nvidia talked about that 2 times as well. Do we get our children or our new students, the people in the university, do they learn code, or what would they learn now? What do you think?
That's a very hard question to answer because I think we still don't know the long-term effects of this kind of huge technology. But I guess it's not about coding now; it's about the AI itself. Even some people are promoting for children and kids to learn coding. That's important for the way of thinking, structuring their minds, organizing how they think, how they solve problems. That's important, definitely, as a skill. But will we need like and in 5, 10 years, do we need coders? Do we need software engineers? I'm not sure, but I think coding, it's a skill to enhance the way we are thinking.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. And
Yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah, and Jensen actually added on that we would in the future we will need the subject matter experts. So understand the
exactly.
code
That's very
still
crucial.
belong to a subject and be a subject matter expert of something.
Yeah,
However, I think that could get very challenging in the future as well, because DeepSeek and ChatGPT actually got, I don't know, 80 something percent in the PhD exam or the MBA exam. So, but definitely, the super intelligence will bypass our intelligence, and that's what calculators have already done, right? So, the future is going to be
yeah,
very interesting.
yeah, yeah. That takes us as well to a very interesting topic. Even we have faced this in many talks with some audience and even for some clients, the ethical side of using the AI. How do you think these kind of ethical challenges that face you in your experience with your clients and your students when you educate them about AI and data analytics during the both stages, the development stage and the deployment stage?
Okay.
That's a very deep question. I know.
Okay. So we're developers, right? And
Yeah,
developers are very kind of smart. They're definitely very smart. But what happens is, let's say, ethical and data privacy when it comes to open source models, right? So yeah, I don't want to give my data to ChatGPT, right? Because what's happening right now that ChatGPT controls with the truth, the ground truth of everything, right? I just saw that video for Muhammad, the guy who was working in Google. I don't remember the Muhammad what, but he's a very smart guy. Mo something. Anyways, he was saying that when you ask a question and you just ask Google, it gives you millions of pages and everything, and it tells you choose whatever answer you feel like. But when you go to ask the same exact question to ChatGPT, it gives you one answer. And this is very
yeah,
scary, because whoever is
yeah.
having the controls of that thing, that would be crazy, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, and there's another very deep sentence I want to say right now. So some people says that history is written by the winners.
It will be written
Yeah.
by AI. Not make me scared now.
Ah, maybe, yeah. Okay. So having that said, we don't want to leave that key to any specific one. It's like the cryptocurrency, for instance. Like, it has to be not centralized. It has to be decentralized. But when it comes to the open source as well, which is a huge endeavor, I kept asking myself, why would someone build an entire model and pay millions, and I don't know how a lot of hundreds of millions like Facebook, and then open source that? I mean, that's a very good thing. Thank you, Facebook, right? However, when you use that and you get to have it on prem and you deploy it yourself because of the data privacy and everything, some cool people, very weird, there's something called open source uncensored models. So basically, if you tell ChatGPT, help me assemble a bomb, it will tell you, excuse me, I cannot do that, right? But for that uncensored models, and you can actually get those models easily from Hugging Face, just get the API of that. It can help you do anything you want. Yeah, and so when it comes to ethical, I'm not sure about that, because but
I think
again, there was
that could be part of the coming regulations, and this will be the whole move much more faster. Is the evolving and development of the AI itself, or the regulations, especially in multiple regions. Some regions are moving very fast in the AI development and implementation, but other regions still not on the same base of accelerated development that happens in the AI part. But that's a very big topic. A lot of clients talking with us about this part, and even we have got multiple questions in this area. I know that's not an easy question to address. This is the exact answer, 100%. But as you said, exactly, these type of even models I've never heard about it before. But that's very scary. That should be considered when we talk about the ethical side of the AI, not the implementation or development. It's much, much more deeper than this. But I think
I'd
there
like
is
also
another
to add here.
aspect.
Sorry. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
go.
Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
I was just going to add something that because I like that quote. So the new vice president of the states, he was just talking, and I think in the conference in Paris that was 2 days ago. It was related to
Yeah.
AI, and they were talking about the AI regulations and ethics. He said that it's not time to regulate anything right now. It's gonna happen definitely, like the fraud detection models, for instance, in the fintech. But it has to pass by this time of going up, and then now after a bit of time we regulate. I'm not sure if this is the right opinion or not, but I just think it's kind of interesting to think of. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think on the other side, it's not about only the ethical part of the AI, but even it's how confident we are to trust the AI. And this takes me to the next point. How do you think businesses they can ensure the transparency and accountability in the AI agents? How can we say that this results or we are 100% confident in the AI that it will take all the actions we need in the marketing, for instance, or whatever field we are implementing the AI for? How do you think? How do you think? Or how do you advise businesses to reach this point of confidence?
Okay. I was just listening to the CEO of Google yesterday. He was in a conference in UAE. It was a conference call with the Minister of AI of UAE, and he mentioned that I think it's more related to the ethics again, regarding the AI generated media, pictures, whatever. So they're building a huge company right now by Google to some sort of certify those AI generated media and all sorts of aspects. So I think that would be very interesting because a lot of people are working on that, and Google itself is building a platform. I'm not sure how they're going to approach that, but I'm very interested to understand how that will go. But again, ensuring that the AI gives you what you actually need. So when you create an agent, you this is part of the prompt engineering area. So you gotta give him a bit of context. So first of all, you give him a backstory. So as if you just a newborn child, and then you give him an entire history, and then you give him a goal. What is he needed to do? And then you give him an objective. So why are you doing that? Where are you working and everything? So you try as possible to feed him that. This is the first part. And then you need to have reliable information from your own data as a company, as in my CRM, for instance, from my sales. So I tell him to look at that database only and only answer from that. Again, it's a matter of connecting the data and the prompt engineering. Having that said, you gotta keep there is something called the function called observability, where you need to keep understanding what's happening with your model and keep reiterating and having like a very close look on what is that model doing. But I'm not sure it's. I think it's very attainable. I'm not sure it's hazardous at that moment. I know that there is this notion
Mm.
of hallucinations and everything, but when you properly
Mm-hmm.
prompt your agent, I don't know, but I did not see as much hallucinations for now.
Interesting. I think you said it as well in the marketing example. Like, even if the AI saved a lot of time and budget to do like a huge task in just 10 minutes, but at the end, you still kept having the subject matter expert to confirm if he would like to use whatever the AI is getting, or he would ask to reiterate and rebuild things. But I guess the human still be there to validate even the results, as you said.
Yeah, but the only issue here when it comes to يعني sometimes the validation is real time. So if you're doing a task and you need an answer from the agent, and then the agent processes and then ask you, are you okay or not? And then once you said okay, it goes away. It executes.
Mm.
But sometimes you cannot. sometimes you just can't. So when you go
Sure.
production, you
Yeah.
just need it to be always automating, and then you do this observability on a retrospect
Mm-hmm.
aspect. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but it's all about
Mm-hmm.
testing. And actually, I just saw a course today on deep learning by Andrew Ng on how to assess your LLMs and how your models are. So, and actually benchmarking and actually having like numerical scores for that. But this
Mm-hmm.
is that's new for me. I think it's been there
Interesting.
for a while, for a couple of months. But again, the
Mm-hmm.
technology is so fast. Is a lot of things to study. So I'm trying my best to keep myself updated. Yeah.
Interesting. Before we move forward, I would like to remind our audience that you please, if you don't have any questions, put it in the comments. We'll get it back to those questions at the end of our conversation. But as well, I might ask you, Yusuf, if you do think or have other examples or examples of implementing the AI agents in resolving some of real world challenges in the fintech
So
area
yeah,
in whatever field.
I mean,
Just
if you want
give
to
us
say
an
that,
example.
I went for the comments. I was like, say hi to my friends. So if you may please say that one question, please. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. I was asking you if you would like to share with us another example. You mentioned the details of the example of the marketing part. Would you like to share more another example in other industries like fintech, like sustainability, on how the AI is really affecting our daily life, or it could be a very smart solution for a complex challenge we were facing in our life?
Yeah, definitely. So actually, we're building another company right now in sustainability. I'm gonna share a bit of information. So I hope my co-founder is not listening, but I think he's listening. So he's gonna kill me. Sorry, Femi. so so basically, our this company is calculating the carbon emissions. So there's this notion in the universe right now that before any investment, you need to analyze and assess the carbon footprint for each and every investment that you do. Cool. But in order to do that, this is a very, very tedious task. So first of all, you need to know the current technology and what's the new technology that you are trying to impose to the community, and how much carbon dioxide emissions that you're gonna decrease when it comes to emissions. Okay, this is the case. What we do is you need an agent to go scrape the entire internet, get the latest data from private sources and public data sources, and understand that it's talking about that technology, and it goes to fetch the data from those technologies. And then you need another agent to understand. So we have already now around 250 technologies that we're trying to do carbon cases for, which is a lot. So one carbon case usually take around 2 3 months from consultants at McKinsey and consulting. Okay, so it's crazy. So when we will need to do the entire stack of that, but it's heavily run using agentic AI again. So now you need the data sources to first understand, read whatever is written. Again, fuzzy in, fuzzy out, right? So read whatever is coming to you, try to understand it, match it, and find the exact data that you need. And then there's a lot of calculations. So you do an agent that is heavy on math, and you teach him all the equations that we might use. And then, so the okay, now this agent has the data, and the other one has the calculation. It goes there and get it. And then this another agent creates three scenarios for the optimum scenario and the worst case scenario. And then there is another agent to actually check that everything is going all right. And then there is a final agent who is more of the report generation. So he actually generates the report in a very decent manner and tells you everything that we used, and include the graphs, and then extract a PDF document that is very colorful and beautiful, and then send it to the whoever customer that needs. That's crazy, right? Yeah, but
Interesting.
we're building an
Yeah.
entire company on that. It's not as easy. So the marketing stunt I told you about, that was more of
Mm.
a POC on one LinkedIn page and everything. But when it comes to heavy data and heavy calculations, it needs teams to do that. But slowly but surely,
Okay.
we're gonna be there. Yeah.
Interesting. Some people are talking about, yeah, the AI agents is very adding value for businesses, for us as individuals. But I'm 100% sure a lot of people are now asking how we can build this kind of AI agents. This takes me to the next point. From your perspective, what is the biggest technical hurdle for anyone is trying to build or develop the AI agent?
I think the only hurdle is in the mind. So basically, you don't know what you don't know. So while we keep
Mm,
speaking about agentic AI and we think that everyone knows what we're talking because all our friends are techies and they know everything, but
mhm,
no one knows about that still. I mean, I just had my phone and went to my mother and I talked to ChatGPT and I kept asking super random questions. It hit me suddenly that my mother do not know anything, does not know anything about ChatGPT. She does not even know the name. This is how funny it was for me because that ChatGPT has been my daily use and development for the past 2 years, and there are people that who do not know anything. Having that said,
mhm,
there are a couple of tools that you can do. I mean, even ChatGPT, you can create your own agent, but it's an agent on one aspect. There are tools that like Make, for instance. I think they can do a Replit. You can create your own no-code tools, and you can even code that because guess what? As I told you in the marketing one, I did not write any code myself, but I just needed to know what am I doing to actually be able to do it, right? So I basically, for instance, you can go just to ChatGPT. So on the left on ChatGPT, there's some pre-trained conversations. So when you search for the bots, you, for instance, type Crew AI. That's a very cool library if you want to build anything. It's much simpler than LangChain. Crew AI is very cool. So they have trained a model. They have trained a chat on ChatGPT with their all of documentation. So what you're gonna do is open your phone, get that chat, type Crew AI, and then press enter. Now you're talking to the documentation of Crew AI, and you even talk in a voice record and say everything. Okay, now I have that business and I want to do an agentic AI that does that and that and that and that. You will be surprised. Like, it's gonna give you the entire infrastructure and the entire agents, and it will actually recommend more stuff on you, and finally it would give you the code for you to run it on anywhere. So I think anyone can do that right now, but again, it's a matter of you don't know what you don't know that it actually exists. It's a matter
yeah.
of knowing the use cases. How can I use that for myself? I was
Mhm,
working with one of the investors before, and then he told me that he has got 6,000 emails, CVs on his email, 6,000
oh,
CVs,
wow,
and
wow,
he was stuck.
that's
The
huge.
email was stuck. It does know how to do it, right? Yeah. So that was a use case, but we did that back at the time using scraping, connecting to Gmail and stuff. But we took like 1 week to do that. But now we
Mm.
can easily do that in 1 day. So yeah, a lot of use cases are arising. That's for sure. What do you think, though? What's your opinion on that point? I'm very interested.
Um, the challenges, as you said, it's a matter of a change. It's very close to the challenges, the digital transformation wave we're facing, but now it's much more it's a tsunami, if we can say, or it's very aggressive this time. But it's not just to accept or reject. All of us will be forced to use the AI. But how fast will we adopt? How fast will we understand what are the use cases that the AI can integrate with? I think it's a matter of time, as you said, on just train our minds and train our team members to start utilize using AI and being have it as a part of their daily life, as you said.
Yeah, well said.
Okay, so that's move us to the trends. I know that the agentic AI is very trendy now. A lot of people talking about it. Even a lot of clients started to think about it and ask about it to implement for their businesses. But what type of or what kind of potential do you think that these kind of AI agents or agentic AI trend could impact the business? you have any kind of figures, thoughts from clients, from your community?
I think it would interfere with all the business operations. I mean, we said HR, we said marketing, we said calculations and sustainability, we said customer service, quality assurance. We might do customer service conversations. I mean, for instance, I will reveal something right now. Actually, we were talking together about having a model. So now we have the text to text model, and it's actually very good and everything. But I was actually talking to you like 1 week ago that why don't we have an AI that actually talks to you on the phone to answer your calls on whatever customer service? I think that would definitely make a huge movement in the market, but also it has its own very downs, because if an AI could replace the customer service, which we have a lot in that in Egypt. I mean, like the companies having abroad customer service, like we have Netflix from Spain that it's resided in here. People answer the phone calls for that. We have a lot of companies from the States. We have a lot of German call centers as well. So if this call center industry disappeared, we're going to lose a lot of dollars that's coming from those companies. So this is the bad part, but the good part is that we need to work on that as soon as possible as well, at least with our own languages. There's so Saudi and Riyadh, sorry, Saudi and Emirates currently building their own large language models based on the accents and different dialects. And I think it's about time people in Egypt will do that. And where there are actually companies doing Intella is doing an amazing job with that. Whitebot is doing an amazing job with that as well. One in the voice and one in the text. And I think I'm actually building something like that as well. And no one is in the market yet, and I think that's an opportunity that we all have to fetch in a way, yeah. And the use cases are unlimited. So
Interesting.
that's one more example.
Yeah.
But I think it would interfere with all business operations. Go
I
ahead.
might share with you as well from my experience. In the US, the call centers at the banks now is AI agents. When I call the bank, it's not like the call center or the auto dialer or whatever they call it in the banks in the Middle East region, but in the US, someone's talking to you. It asks you
Yeah,
questions and you reply back with your own voice. It's not just adding numbers on your phone mobile device, but it start talks to you and asks you questions to define the problem, define your question. And if the AI agent couldn't respond or resolve your challenge, it will direct you to a human agent. That's already happened. Like I used it many times during the last year, and it was very adding value for me.
that's gonna
Let's
be
move
a
to
big
a very
issue for the. I would like to add something here, because that would make a huge issue to the amount of dollars Egypt is receiving. But I want to share an experience as well. So a couple of days ago, I had an interview to a German entity, okay, for a very cool, very cool project. The entire HR screening interview, the entire one was with an AI, and they actually, she was so I don't know what's the right word. She That AI woman, she was so considerate, because she does not even ask me a question and then goes on the second question. No, she comments on everything that I said, and he tells me, yeah, cool that you're doing a community, that's very that's,
yeah,
you're a perfect fit for that. So even the experience, I was so happy, she made me feel so good, right? So that's gonna be bad, that's gonna be bad for the
yeah,
future, man. But I'm very curious
yeah.
how it's changing.
Yeah, that takes me to a very important point, and this is real action for businesses. If there is a business now is convinced to start using the AI agents in their organization, what do you think the first step for those organizations to start consider, and what should they avoid in their process to implement or utilize the AI agents?
Back at the time, I've been a consultant for companies for some time now, for a couple of years. So back at the time before the I used to meet with customers, and then they tell me the most famous sentence is, "I have data that I cannot utilize. Please help me to do that." And then what we do is we go for the meeting, and then even for building a very simple dashboard, I like to go with the weekly meeting of the top management, and then they keep asking a series of questions. And then for that meeting, I keep writing all the questions that they have asked, and then I write it in the order that they asked. So they might ask some questions, and then but they always need the answer in the beginning. So I have to understand, listen to it's like a doctor thing, listen and understand. And they might, the I will tell you now, the analogy of the innovation of the car versus the horse. So they wouldn't give the horse more features, but they actually converted the entire thing to the car. You remember that example, right? So what I want to say here is, the user does not, because I mean, a CEO of a very super heavy business company that is generating a lot of revenues, he does not know the use cases that we can do. So first of all, the change management, people need to know that this is changing, and we need to incorporate that, and have an R&D department. I'm not saying that we're going to change the entire company. We're not The aim is not to change people or to remove people. The aim is to increase the efficiency. This is the aim. Streamline operations and increase efficiency
Yeah.
for further whatever. There was a company just said that they stopped hiring. I don't remember the company. I think it was Klarna or like what. So they lose 20% of people every year, and now they stopped hiring, and everything is agentic AI right now. So having an R&D
Hmm.
department, that's a must for each and every company, because if you don't go with the flow, or the wave, you most probably you're gonna fall. The other
You mean
thing
you
is,
mean the R&D here is to define and understand the exact use cases, customized use cases for this exact business, right?
yeah, and even hire some AI guy, and just have him on board. Just talk to him. Just keep an AI consultant beside you to
Yeah,
oversee the entire operations.
yeah,
Because I mean, even myself, I keep trying to know all the new use cases, because you get creative when you know whatever is new. But having an R&D department, and explaining all the pains to him, I think this is very, very crucial, because you might find a lot of easy solutions when it comes to even technology or AI or digitalization. Yeah. So back at the time, the most famous sentence was, "I have data I don't know what to do with." Now the most
yeah.
famous sentence is, "Help me incorporate AI in my company." Okay, do you have any pains? No, but please help me. Which is very cool.
Okay,
And this is this is the cool people, actually, because they know there's
hmm.
something they want to hop on board, but they don't know what are the use cases. These are the
Hmm.
strong people,
Interesting,
actually. So yeah.
interesting. Nice. So we can say at the end of this conversation that businesses need to define the use cases, the pain points, to start understand how the AI can add value for them. Reminding our audience, if you don't have any questions, we might take few. We have some here, but there is a comment from Tom, and I like this comment, honestly. We can see it all together. That Tom is commenting on how the AI is adding value versus the human, as he said that the humans are building the prototypes, and this is the starting point of being human, and then AI is used to scale up. That's very correct and very realistic. What do you think about this comment, Youssef?
Rule of thumb: I use humans prototype and create the first widget. Yes, sir. Want to widgets human hands off to AI, two plus AI scales. I mean, I totally agree on what Tom is saying, but I think it's
Yeah,
as well subject on whatever vertical or task we're talking about. So it's definitely subjective to the task, but
true.
definitely, Tom, I like that. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we have another question from Gobal. what is the role of human AI collaboration in agentic AI application? I think he means the human intelligence versus the AI intelligence.
I think thanks to humanity and the internet, we already helped the generative AI a lot with all our data that has been scraped from the online. I mean, I just received 70,000 hours of Egyptian accent voice labeled with its own text, and that could easily be used in fine tuning any model. So I think humans
Mm-hmm.
have did the role already. Definitely, there is a big
Yes.
road to go, but they did a very good
Yeah.
role to have our own data online and our books and everything. So we spent years and years and years writing books and doing blog posts and doing creating websites that have all the data that we need. And then someone
Mm-hmm.
came and scraped the entire data set, and now he has got that flash memory that has everything. Thanks humanity, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
think of it. I
Interesting.
mean, literally, I don't know how is that. I mean, I know inside out how was that created, and I've read the blueprint of DeepSeek and ChatGPT and everything. I know it, but I cannot
Mm-hmm.
even understand it. I have no idea how is that happened.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Crazy.
Okay, we have another question from Roshan. I think we answered this, but if you'd like to add more comments on it, how can you trust agentic AI systems to take decisions and perform at the business on behalf of individuals? Would you like to comment on this? We already covered it, but if you need to add
How can you
something.
trust, how can you trust agentic AI systems to take decisions and perform at a business on behalf of the individual? Yeah, I mean, as we said, there is ways as well. Observability for your model and understand what exactly it is doing and giving it the context. So that's actually goal. Yeah, and I think it's gonna do a good job for now.
Mhm. Interesting. Yeah, that's. I think that's
Yeah,
all for the conversation for today. Thank you
but
so much, Yusuf,
that's a
for
very
your
nice
time.
name, Rushan. I've never heard that. Such a name. Very cool.
Sorry, I think there is some delay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we got this for Roshan. Um, we still have like a couple of minutes, but we got another question. If you'd like to have a look at it as well, Yusuf, before we end the live. From Islam, he's asking how should agentic AI be audited or monitored? Do you have any
Okay,
thoughts on?
so there are a couple of no, it's not about yeah, it's not regarding the agentic AI per se. For so monitoring agentic AI, it's exactly what we said right now. But
Mhm,
monitoring generative AI, so there's some thresholds and tools that you can use to actually make sure that your model is performing exactly as you want.
mhm,
I will tell you the name of that right now as well. Yeah, it's called automated testing for or improving accuracy. So you can easily optimize and improve the accuracy of your own fine-tuned LLM and with actually numerical values. So this is the
mhm.
first part, and the second part is having the guardrails again. So and yeah,
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's very adding value. Thank you so much, Yusuf, for this very insightful conversation, and thank you so much for our audience who was watching us across different channels of Kugia and your channels, Yusuf, and my channels as well. Thank you so much.
thank you, Muhammad. That was very
Thank you.
interesting, and looking forward for to watch the rest of the series. So thank you, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ciao.